Welcome to the Daily Jing for Thursday, January 3rd. Let's talk for a minute about the topics for this paper. I know the first draft is due today or finally due by tomorrow at 6 a.m. But there are people in the past who have written this essay, and they've not gotten off to a very good start because they choose um, the wrong kind of focus. This particular focus or this particular essay needs to be about a behavior or a condition. It has to be an internal thing. It can't be someone else's condition. You can't write about your little brother. And you can't write about a thing or a place either. Those are the three things that we're going to do for the next paper. We're going to write about a person, place, or thing. For this one, you have to write about an internal thing, some fear, some anxiety, some pleasure, some obsessions, something like that. And one of the ways to think about this is to go to the readings because I've planned the readings around this particular essay. So let's look at the first view and do, and at the bottom here, well, I list all the kinds of things here that you might write about, but some of these you get the impression, for instance, a person who's an amputee, that you would be writing about the accident or you would be writing about um, what happened in the hospital or what happened, whatever. But the idea here is to write about yourself and your reaction to this particular kind of condition. Okay, so let's look at the writers that we're reading for this particular essay. In Clinton, he's a he's a writer who's writing about his imminent death. This is a very big kind of condition. It's mortality, and he's writing about his personal reaction to this kind of thing. And Ofri, she's the doctor, and she's one of these doctors, as we all know them, who think they know a lot of things because they're professionals. But her reaction to this mysterious case shows that she's really very vulnerable, and and that kind of thing is what she's dealing with in the essay. With Lowe, she's dealing with that thing called menopause, but not in a way that you would deal with it if you were an academic researcher, where you go out and you explain what the medical nature of it is. She does it from a personal place and an internal kind of feeling kind of place. And it's the same way with Slater, who talks about the condition of balancing her body, what's happening to her body, and what happens to her mind. These are all internal, sorts of things. So when you're choosing your particular topic, you have to think about them as something that is inside of you. You're writing about that and how it gets projected. You aren't going outside of yourself and bringing it in like you would do in the next paper with the person, place, and thing. Here, the problem is inside of you, and you're trying to understand it. And remember that all these papers are problem oriented papers. You're trying to solve some kind of problem. No, excuse me, not solve it for all time, but to kind of worry it like you would worry a flat stone in your hand, looking at it from every direction, feeling it, and never coming up with an exact idea of it, but coming up with preliminary sorts of observations and conclusions, and then you go from one conclusion to the next. Okay, that's what an essay is all about. All right. So the question of the day is, when is the rough draft due? The rough draft of the third paper, the familiar essay one, is due today or finally due by tomorrow, Friday at 6 a.m. And you need to share it with me and your group members. Make sure that I am in the loop here so that I see your paper. Okay? All right, thanks.